Hi, dear students. This is Dr. Sharmili, Assistant Professor in Division of Agronomy, School of Agriculture Sciences, Karna Institute of Technology and Sciences, Coimbatore. And the lecture title which I'll be discussing with you all today is History of Agriculture Development, that is, till scientific development of agriculture in India. So, before we study modern crop production practices, it is necessary to understand how agriculture started, how it developed over time, and how India became one of the oldest agriculture civilizations in the world. Agriculture did not happen suddenly in India. It evolved slowly along with the evolution of human civilization, starting from hunting stage, pastoral stage, crop culture stage, and finally trade settled the farming system which we do now. So in this lecture, we learn about different stages of agriculture development, agriculture practices followed in ancient India, development during Vedic, medieval, and British period, then and growth of scientific agriculture after independence. And we will also study the role of important institutions, scientists, and green revolution which changed Indian agriculture completely. So, understanding this history will help you all to know why present day farming practices exist and how agriculture science has improved productively over time in India. So, now let us see some the evolution of agriculture. So, agriculture did not start suddenly. It developed slowly with the evolution of human life, and human civilization also passed different stages. First we started at hunting stage. In early days humans depended on hunting animals, collecting wild plants for food. This was the primary source of food, and the people moved from place to place during this time. And next came the pastoral stage. Here humans started domesticating animals like cattle, sheep, and goats. They moved from one place to another in search of grass, food, and water for animals. And this stage is where the pastoral system started. Next came the crop culture stage, and after some time, humans settled near riverbeds because they wanted water, and the river had available water with them. So they started growing crops and started living in one place in communities. This is where proper agriculture started, and finally came the trade stage. And here people produced more foods than required. So that what it is this they started to exchange goods with the nearby lot of people staying. So this led to trade and development of society. So next, let us see the classification of agriculture period. So India's agriculture history has been divided into five different periods. Early history period before 15,000 BC, then came the Vedic period, early Common Era, late Middle Ages, or otherwise known as early modern era or colonial British era. So, to understand agriculture development clearly, history is divided into various periods like this, and each period had different farming methods, crops, irrigation systems, and techniques which has been followed during those periods. So, now in India, agriculture started around 9000 BC, and domestication of plants and animals started. People started to settle down. Use of implements started. We had double monsoon so that we were able to grow two crops in a year. So people started domesticating crops and animals so that they stopped moving from one place to another, and they started to settle down. So when implements usage started like plow, and we also had two monsoons per year in India, like southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon. Farmers they were able to grow minimum of two crops in a year. So agriculture products which we farmers produced in those time, they started to trade with other countries, and here Indians were respected, being respect for plant and animals, uh, which they considered sacred. Next came the Middle Ages. During the Middle Ages, agriculture became more and more advanced. So, irrigation canals and tanks were being constructed, land and water management system improved here, and Indian crops like spices, cotton, and sugar were exported to other countries, and agriculture became an important part of our economy. When we see the early history period, the early history of agriculture in India started thousands of years before the modern era, and archaeological evidence shows that agriculture existed in India around 9000 BC itself. So during this time, people they started domesticating crops like wheat and barley. They also domesticated animals like horse, sheep, goat, cattle, elephant, which helped the farmers in their farming practices and also in the transport system. So between this 8000 to 6000 BCE, cultivation of wheat and barley became common. So people also started rearing cattle for them. Apart from helping in farming practices, they were also used in ploughing and milk production. And around 5000 BCE, agriculture communities developed in Kashmir region, showing that people have started living in permanent settlements. And around 5000 BCE to 4000 BC, cotton cultivation started in India, and the Indus Valley became famous for cotton production. And we have archaeological evidences showing that rice was cultivated in Indus Valley civilization thousands of years ago, and this process that this sorry this proves that India is one of the oldest rice growing country in the world. And around 4000 BCE, different irrigation methods were developed, and the farmers started storing water and using the stored water for crop production. And we have also evidences that in 3000 BC, people started to build advanced water storage system and reservoirs, and around 2500 BCE, animal drawn plough were used for cultivation. And by 2000 BCE, rice cultivation spread to Kashmir and Harappa region. So this period shows that Indian agriculture was already highly developed in ancient agriculture system. During this Vedic period, that is post Mahajanapadas period from 1500 BC to 2000, 200 CE, during this period, agriculture improved further due to better knowledge of seasons and rainfall. And India has monsoon, we have monsoon dependent agriculture, and farmers learned how to grow crops when they received rainfall. And two types of crops were grown: Karabi crops, that is grown in winter, like wheat, barley, and kharif crops, which is grown in rainy season, like rice and millets. So jute was also cultivated and used for rope making and other purposes. And people believe that animals and trees were sacred, and trees like people tree, banyan tree were worshipped by the people. And many medicinal plants were used in Ayurveda, the ancient Indian medical system, which is one of the important ancient Indian medical system. And this period shows the close relationship between agriculture, nature, and culture. So next comes the early common era, that is high middle ages from 200 to 1200 CE. So during this period, agriculture in India became more systematic and organized. So people in South India, especially in Tamil regions, cultivated many crops and followed proper farming system practices like ploughing, manuring, weeding, irrigation, and crop protection. Water management system also improved a lot during this period, and farmers they started to build tanks, canals, and reservoirs to store water during rainy season. One of the most important example is Kalanai Dam, built across the Kaveri River during the Chola period, and it is one of the oldest water regulation system of the world, still in use. And in India was also famous for spice trade, including black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, which are exported to other countries. And during the Gupta period, crystallized sugar was discovered, and it is one of the earliest references of sugar that in India. And next come the late Middle Ages, that is early modern era from 1200 to 1757 CE. During this period, agriculture improved due to better irrigation and land management. A new type of irrigation system came from Persian and Islamic countries, which helped in increasing the production in these areas. And then India was divided into various agriculture zones based on crops, like rice growing zones, wheat growing zone, millet growing zones. And during the rule of Akbar, agriculture was properly organized, and his minister Todamal introduced a scientific land revenue system for land management, where land was measured, productivity was estimated, and tax was fixed for the people based on the production. This helped farmers and government to maintain proper records, and the crops, Indian crops like cotton, sugarcane, citrus fruit, spread to other countries like Middle East, North Africa, and Spain. And this shows that Indian agriculture influenced the world economy. Next came the colonial British era from 1757 to 1947. During this British period, agriculture in India changed mainly towards commercial purposes. The British introduced irrigation canals, especially in North India, and many canals were constructed on rivers like Sutlej, which helped in improvised irrigation. They also encourage farmers to grow commercial crops instead of food crops like cotton, indigo, opium, rice. And these crops were exported to foreign countries for British industries. Some regions like Punjab, Narmada Valley, Andhra Pradesh, they become most important agriculture areas during the irrigation projects. And although irrigation improved, farmers suffered because the taxes during those period was very high. So this period shows that agriculture developed, but mainly it was only for the benefit of the British people. Now let us see some of the important developments in agriculture that happened in India. Mostly after 18th century, agriculture started becoming scientific. Livestock farming became important for cultivation of getting milk, meat, draft power. Later, modern inputs came like fertilizers, pesticides, improved seed varieties were also improved, and this increased crop production and led to modern agriculture in India. And in this slide, you can see some periodical historical developments that happened in agriculture in India. Now let us see some of the important developments in agriculture, scientific agriculture in India, and contribution of some of the important scientists here. So, scientific agriculture developed due to the work of many scientists. Some of the notable works are by Jethro Tull. He is known as the father of tillage. He said that fine soil particles help plants to absorb more nutrients. And Joseph Priestley, he discovered oxygen and explained plant respiration process. Justus von Liebig, he proposed a law of minimum, which is very important concept here. He said plant growth depends on nutrient that is available in minimum quantity. And Thomas Malthus, he proposed Malthusian theory. He said population increases faster than production. And F.T. Blackman, he gave the law of limiting factor. He said growth is controlled by the factor that is least available. Next was Mitscherlich. He gave the concept of law of diminishing returns. He said increase in fertilizer will increase the yield only up to a certain limit. Next came Wilcox Macy. He proposed critical nutrient concept. They said plant need nutrition at critical level for a better and proper growth. So all these scientists made agriculture more scientific. Next are some of the advances in agriculture which happened in 19th century. The first in 19th century, research in agriculture actually started. Then the first agriculture research station was first started in Rothamsted in England in 1843 by Justus von Liebig. Their long-term fertilizer experiment was conducted in USA. land grants colleges were started, and the aim of it was those colleges were to teach agriculture, researchers, and extension work. And USDA, United States Department of Agriculture, they introduced modern technologies like herbicides, tractors, combine harvesters, and all. And this period marked beginning of modern scientific agriculture of the world. Now, let us see some of the development of scientific agriculture in India. During the late British period, scientific agriculture started in India, and around this 19th century, that is from 1877-78 to 1900, the population decreased due to various famines, and land tax system was introduced, and the farmers had to pay to the government. And due to poor farming practices and methods, drought and many famines occurred during this period. So to improve agriculture, irrigation canals were constructed, and during the period of Lord Dalhousie, canals were built across in Punjab, and during period of Lord Curzon, some important agriculture developments happened in India, like agriculture departments were started, agriculture colleges were started, research institutions were started, and the Imperial Agriculture Research Institute (IARA) was first started in Pusa and Bihar, and the agriculture colleges were later started in Layalpur, now it is in Pakistan, Agra, Kanpur, Nagpur, Coimbatore, and Sabar in Bihar. And during this period of Lord Curzon was called as golden period of agriculture in Indian education. Also, agriculture college, which is in Coimbatore now, was started during his period. So next, in 1912, Sugarcane Breeding Institute was started in Coimbatore, and in 1926, Royal Commission on Agriculture studied the problems of Indian agriculture, and based on its recommendation, ICAR, Indian Council for Agriculture Research, was started in 1929. So after the independence, it was then renamed as Indian Council for Agriculture Research, which is of now. And this ICR controls agriculture research, agriculture education, and research institution in India. And after 1960, state agriculture universities, SAUs, was started, and then this ICR totally they started to adapt this land grant commission colleges, and in 1962 land grant college was started in Pantnagar. It is the first university in India, Pantnagar University in Uttar Pradesh, with 16,000 acres of land under it. And now there are 63 agriculture universities in India which is of present, and many high yielding wheat varieties like Kalyana Sona, Sonalika, Lerma Roja, Sonara 64 were then introduced. So green revolution happened between this 1965 to 1967, which took wheat first, and then it happened in rice after the invention of Indo-Japanica variety. You can see the picture of Kalyana Sona wheat variety here. So here I've given the picture of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He is called as father of Green Revolution, and because of this introduction of high yielding wheat varieties in India. And then Dr. Norman Borlaug, he developed dwarf wheat varieties which helped in increase this production in India. And he was called as a father of Green Revolution. Actually, he's an American agronomist. So these are some of the important milestones happened in agriculture in India. That is in 1880, Agriculture Department was started. 1903, IRA started in Pusa. 1912, Sugarcane Breeding Institute in Coimbatore. And 1929, ICR was established. 1962, first Agriculture University was started in Pantnagar. And 1965, Green Revolution. And 1876, Madras Agriculture College was started in Saidapet, Chennai. 1906, Agriculture College and Research Institute in Coimbatore was started. 1912, Sugarcane Breeding Research Station in Coimbatore. 1971, Madras Agriculture Station College was shifted and renamed as TNAU, which is now in Coimbatore. And these are some of the important milestones that happened in the history of agriculture in India and Tamil Nadu. So, students, in today's lecture, we study the history of agriculture development in India, starting from early hunting stage to modern scientific agriculture. We also learned about different historical periods, the growth of irrigation and farming practices, and role of research and education in improving agriculture in India. We also discussed the contribution of ICAR and impact of Green Revolution, which helped in India to increase the food production. So this lecture will definitely help us to understand the importance of scientific farming to present day agriculture. Thank you.